A very good afternoon. You're watching India Today with me, Nabila Jamal. I'd like to wish all our viewers Eid Mubarak. Let me straight cut across to Karnataka, which is reeling under the COVID crisis. We're still looking at cases on the rise. We're looking at Karnataka, the situation right now where people are struggling for beds. At a time like this, when people are struggling for a bed in Karnataka, we're still seeing the state machinery not pacing up their infrastructure. In fact, Bengaluru, that was once known to have the best healthcare facilities, the COVID crisis now clearly has busted that belief here. People are crying for a hospital bed in Karnataka, yet it's quite a shame that the existing facilities are not being turned into oxygenated COVID centers in the speed that is really required here. In fact, the slow pace, where the facilities are now being expanded, is quite glaring now. This center, particularly on Old Madras Road, was supposed to be a diabetes hospital, but the government intends to now turn it around into a COVID facility. It's been over 2 months, yet the facility doesn't seem like it's really far from usable. The bed allocation in Bengaluru is still a chaotic affair. The BBMP is trying to manage it and come out with more clarity on how people can access it. I have with me MP from Bengaluru Central, PC Mohan, joining us. Mr. Mohan, here's Bengaluru, which is a matter of concern. People are running around helter-skelter to find a bed. Many of them not even attempting because they are already declaring there are no beds. Well, many hospitals do have beds. It seems like the agents are working faster than the BBMP itself.
State government and the BBMP are working together now, and our in-charge minister for East Zone, Sri Somanna, has come for the inspection today in East Zone. Even the cases also are coming down because a lot of people also are not coming out much after the lockdown. Government is doing all the efforts, and BBMP good coordination is there. Especially now the Chief Minister also has made a new task force with different in charges. For oxygen, one minister is there. For bed allocation, one minister is there. Then for every for remdesivir and medicines, one minister. So all the ministers are working very hard day and night. So things are improving in Bangalore. Even you can see also where cases were 24,000. Now it has come down to almost 16 to 17,000, and now with the lockdown effect, it should come down gradually. It will start decreasing now from here afterwards.
Myself was a medical education minister. I know more than 60 colleges are here. There are so many beds. If you give them proper opportunity, proper facilities, give them money, they can manage them. Definitely they will cooperate. People, they wanted to help. There are a lot of, we suggested, you bring the doctors, appoint the young doctors. There are more than 500 nursing colleges are there. You can make use of them, but government doesn't have basic common sense.
People in Bengaluru are crying help to find beds. At a time like that, we see huge facilities like this in Bengaluru. I'm right at the C.V. Raman Nagar Vivekananda Metro Station Center. Right next to it, there's a huge hospital that's been built, and they plan to convert it into a COVID facility. But it doesn't look like it will be up and running anytime soon. We see people crying for help, waiting for beds. In fact, paying exorbitant prices to find a government bed or a private hospital bed. And you have facilities like this that are waiting to be revamped as a COVID facility, and it's taking quite some time. Doesn't seem like it's going to be up and running anytime soon. Considering that scientists of the IISc have said that Bengaluru or Karnataka might see a peak post the 17th of May. We might see a lot more people rushing to find beds. Will this facility or the center be up and running by then? I highly doubt. We're hoping that Karnataka government picks up pace. These facilities can be turned around quickly, but it seems like some sort of official delays are taking place right now. Now, of course, Bengaluru has now come up, the government has now come up with triage centers across Bengaluru to ease patients who are in fact the trouble for them to find a hospital bed. In the meanwhile, they can come to one of those triage centers that's been set up in the city. Here we're looking at BBMP announcing the triage centers where it could begin operation across 28 constituencies within Bengaluru city limits. These centers will be walk-in facilities where any patient can come, get themselves checked, and then depending on the need, move to either attached COVID care center or a hospital. Now, triaging is the process to determine whether patients need to be in home isolation, stabilization centers, or a hospital, and if they really need hospital beds or just beds without oxygen and ventilators. Nagarjun Dwarkanath brings us this report.
We are working on our core strength of working with the people, with the community at the local level. And we are basically concentrating on that. And I'm sure that in the coming days, this would help us a great deal. As far as the cases that require hospitalization or they get aggravated, I'm sure there are mechanisms by which we can admit them. As of now, what is happening is that people are getting reported late, and so therefore the situation has worsened. So therefore the people are coming only in the final stages of ICU, etc. If we are able to arrest that earlier, in that case that will be helpful.
Karnataka government has opened triage centers across Bengaluru in 28 assembly constituencies. These 28 triage centers will act as a walk-in hospital for people who have COVID-like symptoms, people who are COVID positive. They will come here, firstly get their BP checked, and thermometer is already here, temperature checked, pulse oximeter is also here. They'll get the clear vitals checked, because there's a lot of fear among people as to they don't know what they have to do when they are positive. So they can walk into 28 such centers where they can consult a doctor. This is one such triage center in Baswangudi Assembly constituency. There are 2 beds with oxygen concentrator that you're seeing here. And the doctors here will take a call if the patient needs admission into hospitals, or medicines will be enough for home isolation, or they need a bit of oxygen. They can come here, stay here for a day or 2 and then go back. And this is the first of the kind for the city itself that triage centers have opened, and it was inaugurated this morning. And the hope is that each day they will have at least 200 to 250 footfalls, where at least 150 of them who don't need hospitals can go back to the house for home isolation. But if not for this, the 150 would have ended up in private hospitals or in government hospitals, and that would have added burden, is what the government said. Now that it's opened, that they can take the load of the patients instead of sending them directly to the hospitals. Nagarjun Dwarkanath for India Today.
All right, I'm shifting focus to a really heart-wrenching story that's coming in from Hyderabad, where a hapless father and a newborn baby was forced to stay right outside the Gandhi Hospital in Hyderabad there, where their positive COVID mother was admitted. In fact, the 5-day-old newborn baby and her father had no option but to wait outside the hospital, because neither could the father afford accommodation there in the city, nor could he go back to Zahirabad, 115 kilometers from Hyderabad that was. Now, when the hospital authorities asked them to leave, they had no other choice but to keep vigil right outside the premises. Now, the baby, meanwhile, was separated from her mother, surviving on warm water and milk powder. After knowing their plight, India Today team arranged help, sent the family back to their village.
क्यों मुसीबत है?
क्या उसका अम्मा का इलाज तो होना ना।
क्या हुआ अम्मा को?
उसका ऑपरेशन हुआ सर, वो बच्चे का पहला है ना, पहले इसलिए।
कितना दिन हुआ बच्ची पैदा होके?
5 दिन हुआ आज से। उसका अम्मा का इलाज होना, जिसने उसे अंदर से बाहर निकाल दिया। अंदर कोरोना है बोल को बाहर निकाल देंगे।
क्या?
अंदर कोरोना है बोल को बच्चे को बाहर निकाल देंगे, सब बच्चे को।
This is an unprecedented situation, and this virus has devastated several happy families. Behind me is a father waiting outside this COVID-19 dedicated hospital of Hyderabad, the Gandhi Hospital, hoping that the mother of this 5-day-old child recover fast so that she can come out and feed this hungry baby.
And now, in what's a shocking state of affairs, Telangana and Andhra, it seems like some politics brewing around COVID patients and their treatment. Telangana has now decided not to allow any patients from Andhra to come into the state to seek treatment. In fact, for the last many days, ambulances have been lining up at the Andhra-Telangana border as patients now sought to get treatment in Hyderabad. But Telangana government is now refusing. Many ambulances have been turned away. TDP has now demanded that Chief Minister Jagan Mohan Reddy talk to Telangana counterpart about getting permission for these ambulances to carry coronavirus patients from Andhra Pradesh to Hyderabad for medical treatment. All right, here we have Tamil superstar Ajit, who's now stepped up and donated in the PM Care Fund. In fact, Ajit there, who's donated 25 lakh rupees to the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Relief Fund to help the state overcome this COVID-19 crisis. After MK Stalin announced the formation of a relief fund, several celebrities have now contributed to the funds there. Actor Surya, along with his family, contributed 1 crore rupees. Stalin's son Udayanidhi contributed 25 lakhs. A.R. Murugadas has now also contributed 25 lakh rupees to the relief fund. All right, that's it from here.